Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of 60 Formula. Hope you're doing well today. Happy Monday, it's the beginning of a brand new week, which means
all new fun-filled Husky videos.
Heela's like, yeah, I'm completely unamused, bruh. Now these two awesome doggos right here are my Siberian Huskies. The one on the right is a lady, and the one on the left is a man with a plan. We're cutting straight to the chase today. On today's episode, we're gonna be discussing 10 tips that all Siberian Husky owners should know. If you've got yourself a Siberian Husky or you're thinking about getting one, this is a comprehensive list,
one of the best lists in the world,
that'll tell you all the tips that you'll need to know whenever you're thinking about getting a Siberian Huskaroni pizza. Now we're gonna be flying through it, so I hope you got your pen and your paper and you're ready to write everything down. Can I get a paw? Boom. Can I get the other paw? Boom. Dab nagget, Bob Saget. You the best. So without further ado, let's get into the episode and talk about 10 tips that all Siberian Husky owners should be knowing, bruh. You ready? Treat for you. Treat for you. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into all of the tips, we have to consult the almighty shaman himself, Roosticle. Oh, almighty shaman, please let us know, what are the necessary tips for raising a Siberian Husky? What do we need to know whenever we got one? Everybody's like, dude, you're talking to a cat. No, you don't understand. This kitty cat ain't no normal kitty cat. This is Ruby. This is Ruby Tuesdays. He knows all the tips, and I consult him whenever I'm trying to figure out what to do with my Huskaronis. Now, legend says that when you approach the shaman, you must give him an offering. Here you go, mighty shaman. Here is my turkey offering. Do you accept? Oh no, I don't think he accepts. Please accept my turkey offering, sir. Yes? Yes? Yes, sir. He has accepted my turkey offering. All right, now whisper in my ear exactly the 10 tips that everyone needs to know when owning a Siberian Husky. Are you ready? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. That's incredible information. Such divine knowledge. All right, let's go ahead and share it with everyone. Woo! Alright, so number one is going to be pretty obvious. Whenever you get Siberian Huskies, you're probably expecting them to be energetic, you know? They're going to want a lot of exercise, right? That's probably why you got a Husky. You might be active, or maybe you're not so active and you want to be inspired to be more active. So you were like, I'm going to get a Husky, and that will motivate me to go outside more often. You do you, bro. Nobody's judging. Either way, tip number one is to always keep your Siberian Husky exercised. Now, I know that seems completely obvious. Good girl. But exercising a Siberian Husky can do a lot of positive things. Exercising Siberian Huskies can prevent them from getting into trouble because it makes them tired and gets their mind off of tearing things apart or destroying furniture. Also, it's way easier to train your Husky whenever they're exercised. If you're trying to train your Husky and it seems like they can't focus on you and they're running 1,000,000 miles per hour, go outside, exercise them for just a little bit, and you're gonna see a big difference in the effectiveness of your training. So just remember, tip number one, keep your Husky exercised and you're gonna get a lot of good stuff out of it. Boom! Shakalaka! Tip number two, it's no secret that Siberian Huskies have the floofiest booties known to man. They have a really beautiful coat. In fact, they have a double coat, which means they have an extra amount of fur, and something called an undercoat, which keeps them warm from cold weather and protects them from the sun. But because Siberian Huskies have so much fur, it's a good idea to comb them a couple times a week. What I like to do is I like to go up to my Huskies, each one of them, and give them a good comb down. Whenever you comb your Siberian Husky on a regular basis, it prevents something called clumping, and that's when their hair gets matted because it's just getting stuck on their body and not falling out. It also prevents a giant mess in your home. So if you're wondering why you have hair all over your floor all the time whenever you own a Siberian Husky, it's probably because you're not combing them often enough. So go ahead, grab yourself a really, this is kind of a nasty comb. Go ahead and grab yourself any type of comb, make sure the bristles are soft at the end, and go ahead and give your Husko a nice comb down a couple times a week. Tip number three, make sure that you adhere and stick to strict schedules. Siberian Huskies love schedules, and it makes things a whole lot easier whenever you stick to them. Now, you might be wondering what a schedule would do for you and a Siberian Husky. Siberian Huskies are creatures of routine, so if you do something often and on schedule, they're gonna learn it twice as fast. So for people who are having problems training their dogs to do something like going out to the potty, if you take them out at the exact same time every single day and you stick to a schedule, your Siberian Husky is going to learn how to do that twice as quickly. And you can apply this to anything, whether it be eating or cage training. Whatever you decide to do, make sure you're doing it on a schedule with your Husky. It'll make them happier and you'll get better training results out of it. Number 4, if you're deciding to get a Siberian Husky and go on several walks throughout the week, and you're like a heavy, super duper heavy walker, then you might want to invest in some paw butter. You're probably like, what exactly is paw butter, bro? Now, paw butter may sound delicious, but you don't put it on your bread, homie. If you have a Siberian Husky that goes on walks all of the time or lives in dry climates, you might want to check on their paws. Whenever you look at a Siberian Husky's paw, you can see marks on them where it looks extremely dry. You can see on the back of Britney Spears' paw right here where it starts to become yellow that it's become extremely chapped and dry on his paw. So this is all just dead skin right here. Now, what's awesome about paw butter is you put it on the paws and almost instantly, it seems like within 24 hours, the paws are completely healed. Like, you don't even see any dry spots at all, which is amazing. Now, if you don't know what paw butter looks like, it kind of looks a little bit like this. It comes in a canister kind of like this, and most of them are edible. So if your dog accidentally licks their paw after you apply it, it's completely fine. They're not going to get sick or anything like that. You can see what it kind of looks like inside here. Kind of just looks like, you know, like honey or oil or something like that. And you don't even have to put it on your hands if you don't want to. You kind of just take it up to your dog's foot and just twist it around and put their toes in there. Yeah. And then they get a nice little coating of that doggo honey butter all over their little paws. So if you have a pupperoni with some dry paws, I definitely suggest you check out some paw butter. Tip number 5, numero 5. And I'm definitely breaking this one right now. Number 5 is never let your Siberian Huskies or your dogs up on your sofa or your bed. Whenever you're training a Siberian Husky or you have a Husky puppy, you may have an Alpha Husky at home that constantly challenges your every move. If this is the case and your Husky is not trained, it may be a good idea to never let your Siberian Husky up on the couch or up on your bed. Letting a Siberian Husky meet you face to face, letting them come up to your level will embolden them to try and challenge you. If you have a Siberian Husky that already does that on a daily basis, then I suggest that you never let them up on the sofa or on the couch. Now, Britney Spears and Gila are both very well trained, so whenever I tell them to do something, they always listen to my command. Well, pretty much every time. But there are some Huskies out there that do not listen to rules. They're very stubborn and they like to do things their own way. Limiting the amount of time that they come up to your level, meeting you face to face, is a good way of maintaining that alpha position over your Siberian Huskies. Now, one thing you do, no matter if you have a Siberian Husky or just any dog, is you feed them on a daily basis. Something that we forget to do regularly is take our bowls and wash them. Dog bowls get just as dirty as people plates. So we want to make sure that we add them to the pile of dirty dishes and clean them in the dishwasher regularly. If you don't, dog bowls can build up all sorts of really gross bacteria, which may end up making your dog sick. So do yourself a favor, make sure that you're washing your dog's bowls every once in a while. Throw them in the dishwasher or wash them by hand with the dishes that you do yourself. And since we're in the kitchen, we'll move on to tip number 7, which is keeping our Huskies out of reach of certain foods that we as people really enjoy. It's really important to make sure that if you are going to get a Siberian Husky, if you're going to be an owner of one of these Arctic floof heads, you got to keep certain foods out of their reach. A couple infamous foods that are very toxic to Siberian Huskies include chocolate, grapes, and raisins. So make sure if you're going to have a big, nice, pantry filled with food food over here or, stuff lying around, make sure you don't have chocolate or grapes or raisins or anything toxic in your kitchen so that your Huskies can just jump up on the counter and grab it. If you want to get into the big list of things that Siberian Huskies can't eat, we got a video on that. Just check it out in our Siberian Husky training playlist, and don't forget to subscribe, baby. Tip numero 8 is going to be to keep a mat or a towel at your front door or your back door. Siberian Huskies like to go outside. You're going to be taking them for a walk a whole bunch. And more times than not, those little, itty bitty boots down there, those tiny little husky paws, they're gonna get dirty. They're gonna get stinky. They're gonna get smelly. Now, I'm lucky enough to have some tile and some hardwood laminate over there, but you may have carpet, which may spell sudden doom. So it's always a great idea to put down a mat or a towel at the front door so that when your Husky does come back in from playing and doing whatever they're doing outside, their paws get dried off and all that mud and dirt kind of comes off on the towel before they go and spread their paw prints all over your brand new carpet. Number 9. Now, a lot of you ask me on the channel, like, yo, dude, should I go ahead and invest in pet insurance? I hear pet insurance is really important. In case my dog or my cat gets sick or hurt, I can go ahead and rely on that insurance to pay for the vet bills. Now, while pet insurance is a great option for some people, my advice to you would be to just open up a savings account for your pepperoni pizza. This is honestly the same thing as pet insurance, and in most cases, if your pet does need a major surgery or if there's something super wrong, it's not gonna cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. But if you put away like $100 every single month or $50 every single month, after a few months, you're gonna have a few $100s saved up, and that'll pretty much cover most vet visits. Now, it's true, it won't cover something major that'll be like $6,000, but starting a savings account for your animal or your doggo is such a good idea because it's just in case something happens, and you'll just have that money just in case. And last but not least, number 10 is going to be to love them as much as you can. That's my biggest tip for you guys. Siberian Huskies only live a few years, 10 to 14 max, so they don't live the longest lives in the world. We have to make sure that every single second spent with them is the most magical, amazing second ever. So whenever you have the time to spend with your Siberian Huskies, whenever you have a moment to sit down with your best friend, make sure you scratch them on the head, scratch him on the booty, kiss him on the face, and tell him you love him. Maybe even boop him on the nose. The memories you make now are the best thing in the entire world, so make as many of them as you can. And that's gonna be our top 10 list, our top 10 tips for Siberian Husky owners. If you guys had fun today, if you had a blast, go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss any more Huskaroni Pizza episodes. And we'll see you next time with another episode of Guess What? Yep, you guessed it, whatever we make.
Peace!